Okay, next problem. A city planner wants to estimate the average monthly residential water usage in the city. He selected a random sample of 60 households, which gave the mean water usage to be 3458.5 gallons over a 1 month period. Based on earlier data, the population standard deviation is 385.92. Make a 95% confidence interval. Okay, so Z or T? So let's take a look. Our standard deviation, based on earlier data, the population standard deviation is known. Okay, so I have population standard deviation. So this is Z. Okay, so population standard deviation is known. We are using the Z table. So 385.92, population standard deviation is known. We will use Z. Okay, we're also given the sample size of 60, and our sample mean is 3,458.5. So we want a confidence interval, 95% confidence interval. Okay, so confidence interval will be X bar plus or minus the margin of error. So we need to find the margin of error. Margin of error is our Z value times the standard deviation of the population over the square root of the sample size. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So our Z value for a 95% confidence interval based off of the chart you were given earlier, this chart right here. So 95%, 1.96. Okay, so our Z is going to be, let's see, Z 1.96. And then our standard deviation we have and our sample size we have. So let's go ahead and plug these in. So our margin of error will be 1.96 times 385.92 over the square root of 60. So let's go ahead and plug that into our calculator and see what we get. So I'm going to go 385.92 divided by the square root of 60. And then I'm going to multiply that by 1.96. So 97.65 here. Okay, so that's my margin of error, 97.65. So my confidence interval is going to be X bar plus or minus my margin of error. So my X bar is, let's see, 3,458.5. So 3,458.5 plus or minus my margin of error is 97.65. So let's see what we get there. So we'll start with minus, and that gives us 3,360.85. And then we'll do our plus, and that'll give us 3,556.15. Okay, so that's our confidence interval. Now we can also check that in our calculator. So if I go to stat, tests, and then I go to this Z interval test, I'm going to highlight stats, and then I'm going to enter my information. So I have my population standard deviation, 385.92, my X bar, 3458.5. My sample size is 60, and I am doing a 95% confidence level. Yes, 95%. Calculate 3360.9. Yes. 3556.15. Yes.